Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Viewtiful, and yes, here I am today to play the Metal Gear Survive beta. As you may or may not know, the Metal Gear Survive beta was released on Steam recently, and it's actually free to play, and I'm going to give you guys my opinions and first impression of the game. There were things that I liked, things that I didn't like, as is the case with most games, so let's just jump straight into it. Now, as a small disclaimer, I will say that I'm a huge supporter behind Hideo Kojima, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of the Metal Gear Solid games. I believe I've played all of them for the exception of the Metal Gear Acid series for the PSP, which I don't think really mattered. I didn't agree with Konami's decision on how they treated Kojima and the Metal Gear Solid series. However, this was a free beta, so I thought to myself, hey, why not? I'll give it a try. So let's talk about the character customization menu. Right off the bat, I was turned off a huge deal by the lack of mouse support. As you can see from this clip, I'm moving around the character model, not because I wanted to view every angle, but I was baffled at the idea that I wasn't able to move my mouse cursor to select different options to change the appearance of my character. Now, on a more positive note, there were a decent amount of customization options available for the beta, from eyebrows, nose, lips, hairstyle, pretty much the standard MMORPG styled character customization palette. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here, and I ended up making a cool looking character, and I jumped straight into the game. And yeah, we're gonna talk about the actual gameplay. So from this clip, you can see that I acquire some type of daily reward system. Every time you get on the game, you get some type of various items like revive pills, or I don't know, weapons or ammo that I got like in this gameplay, as you can see. So the interface here was pretty nice, actually. I was pretty surprised how much I liked it. It reminded me of the Assassin's Creed loading screen within the Animus, and you can see, your character stats. If you have a squad in your lobby, they can walk around the same space as you, and they can see, what character you have, what do you do, what's your interface. They can see everything, which is really nice. And I was pretty surprised that this game is pretty well optimized, and I feel like I only felt my computer drop to like 55 FPS maybe once from 60, and I don't have like the greatest crazy monster computer, what I mean. I'm actually running this game on a laptop, so as you can see from a laptop, this is still running really well. So I just wanted to try out a single player experience and give you guys just the basics of how I felt about the gameplay overall, without a biased opinion of hating the game simply because it's not a Kojima project. This is just how I felt about the raw gameplay, Metal Gear Survive as just a game, not just a Metal Gear game. So one thing I noticed right off the bat was once I had joined the game, there was no type of tutorial. Even in the menu screen, I didn't see any tutorial or anything. I'm used to playing Metal Gear games on the PlayStation console, so I never tried it on a PC. So I was pretty disappointed that there weren't at least like a control scheme tutorial just to help me figure out what were the key bindings, how do I even play the game, or any basics at all. So luckily I took a big guess, used my gaming instincts, and pretty much figured out how most of the controls work while just sitting around, messing around with all my keys. So as you can see here, I did get a pretty cool stealth kill, only hoping that this was implemented into the game because it's a basic Metal Gear Solid mechanic. From the looks of it, every enemy that you kill can give you some type of experience points, so you get bonus experience if the kill was unnoticed. So, it's not really a surprise. It's a pretty standard idea that you get stealth kills and it gives you more experience. Now in this clip, I found it pretty interesting that it seems like everything is a source of material. Like almost every item that you see just laying around in the game, you can pick it up for later use. So I'm talking about like wood, metal, plastic, natural resources, and more. It's a cool idea because apparently this is a survival game, but when you put it on paper and you really look at the plan overall, it seems like the game's a little cluttered, considering this entire room that I was in was filled with small items that I could just throw in my backpack like it was nothing. I can see this being a problem even with my screen getting filled up with small details when you're in an intense fight. So it was a little off from what I'm used to, but maybe it'll change over time. It's just the beta, who knows. Now, something I do want to point out is the melee weapons. I wish that there was a bit more stun with each hit that I swung, or at least some type of stun on the second hit to give me a slight advantage on one-on-one combat. So there's like poise on most of the enemies, and for those who don't know what poise is, most of you Dark Souls fans, if you're watching, you'll know what it means. It's when the enemy essentially has like some type of super armor where their attacks can't be interrupted by your own attacks or vice versa. That being said, I did sense, a bit of challenge to my gameplay when I did have to rethink what weapons I had to use for certain situations, such as the spear being a much more viable weapon for CQC combat. Now, starting the mission, I had no idea what to do, what I was getting myself into, until I saw the word wave. So essentially these missions are just going to be Horde Mode, and I'm really hoping the entire game isn't just this with different maps, upgrades, and enemies. I wanted some type of at least like open world mission, maybe like a resistance base that we could, take over, something with a group of friends, and possibly add variety to the gameplay. But as I said at least 3 times before, it's just a beta, and you never know, they could change all of this up. This is probably just one mission that they're giving us for now. So here, as you can see, they do give a bit of time to craft weapons and ammos and other supplies for the next upcoming wave. So, it does get much harder. They start spawning bombers, which have like a significant amount of HP, unless you hit their vital points. So that is something I wanted to point out. All the enemies have vital points. They're like these little orange crystals or red crystals that you hit on a specific part of their body. And you can either one-shot the enemy completely if you hit it at the, tip, or you could take out at least 50 or 75% on hit. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was a cool feature. So I ended up running into an armored enemy at this part of the gameplay, and this was probably by the 3rd wave, and this is where shit got too real, and I ended up dying a lot here. I used a few revival pills, and I was just getting bodied because I ran out of ammo and supplies, and I was just overall not prepared. I had no type of training on this game. So at this point in the game, I ended up just dying, and I didn't really have any type of basic knowledge of even how to even continue or win this part of the game, the 3rd wave. So overall, guys, I don't think this is a terrible game. I actually like the idea of it. I had more fun, more so of it being free. I guess maybe if I paid for it, I wouldn't have as much fun. I don't really know. But I think that the game is going to have a much more cleaner interface when it does come out. And hopefully they put some type of mouse support once it fully releases. I think a lot of Metal Gear Solid fans are going to absolutely hate the game because of Konami using the Metal Gear name to gain popularity or sales for this game. However, I do think if Metal Gear Survive was a standalone game, just being called something completely different away from the Metal Gear title, like if they just called the game Survive or something like that, this game would have much more respect and love from the community. But, game companies, they just want to use the title, get money, and that's really all it is at the end of the day. Let me know your opinion if you've played the Metal Gear Survive beta, or if you just have something to say in general about the new title. Give me your opinions. I want to know what you think. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you comment below. Red hot kick that like button. And as always, stay beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, and have a good day.